Good morning, and I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers of the world. Wherever you find yourself this morning, well, here in Jamaica, we're celebrating Mother's Day. I know that in some countries, they have different dates for their Mother's Day celebration. Today is May 10, Sunday, May 10, and here in Jamaica, we're celebrating Mother's Day. It's one of the biggest celebrations all around the world. Everybody understands the importance of celebrating the backbone of the earth, the mother, the vessel, the channel, the one who brings forth life onto this plane. We hail and we salute and we respect our mothers. Mother's Day is one of the I would say it's probably the biggest celebration every year, bigger than Christmas, I think. And, you know, it's rightly so because mothers go through so much. You transform, you go through a transformation, not just physically, and the physical transformation is a hell of a transformation. You are literally putting your life at risk. For every woman who has brought forth a child, each and every time you put your life at risk. You went to death's door and came back every single time. Some women have had 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 children. My grandmother had 11 children. That's 11 times you walked past death bravely, boldly, and we have to salute that. The men, they contribute the sperm. They have a moment of bliss, and in that moment of bliss, they pass on the sperm. From that moment onwards, the onus is on the woman. If he decides to walk away at that moment, to go to another place, another time, another country, another planet, she is left with that responsibility. And yes, the law has put things in place to try to force those men who don't take it upon themselves to be responsible. The law has put things in place to force them, because a lot of things that men do in society is from being forced to do it, unfortunately. But even so, we still have a lot of men who refuse to stand by their obligation. But hey, the woman has to be there. And most times, the women are willingly there. They stand to it. They bring forth this life into the world, and they do everything in their power to take that child to the point where he or she can stand on his own, her own. And I really must salute our mothers. For the first time mothers, don't be scared. Just, you have it in you. You are born for this. Just allow nature to take its course. Seek the guidance and the wisdom of the older women who have gone through before you and have gained some mother wit, as we call it. It's a natural part of life to take counsel from our elders, and motherhood has always been one of those things where we rely heavily on the experience of those who have gone before us. So, for the first time mothers, just lean on that, touch base with that maternal instinct and the maternal voices around you, your mom, your aunt, your older sisters, women in the community who you can, these are persons who have gone through before you. And today we have so much access to information. Find out as much as you can. Do your own research, right? And find out as much as you can so that you go into this prepared mentally, physically, so that your child can get the best life possible. I remember as a young mother, I was 21 when I had my first child. I remember my grandmother, she came to visit me just before I gave birth, and she laughed and she said, "Your body going hot you, your body going hot you." And I know she was talking about the physical pain that I was about to experience, and that it was some severe pain. And as a young woman, I remember refusing to get any help, any medication to ease the pain or induce the labor. I stuck out for hours. The doctors were insisting that they induce labor. And I remember I waited until way down in the night, and I checked it from in the morning, about 8 o'clock in the morning. That's how adamant I was about. First and foremost, I wanted their dad to be there, and I stuck out and I didn't want any help. So until he got there. Um so you should have courage and don't feel like you have to submit to even what the doctors are advising you. You still are within your right to do your own research and make your own decisions as it relates to certain things, right? So don't feel like the doctor's word has to be final. Yes, they are professionals, and hopefully they have your best outcome at heart. But at the same time, you don't need to relinquish your power. You still are within your right to make certain decisions. So not because you are young, still exercise the rights that are yours. And you remember, you are the guardian of that child. You are the vessel that that human being is coming into life through. So you must have a say in how this goes. If you are a much younger mother, maybe a teenage mother, you don't need to feel like the world is ending. Yes, you may have fallen into a situation where, you played around with fire and you got burnt, as we said, but your life can certainly get back on track. Just do what you've got to do and lean on those persons in your life who can guide you, and then you get back in the field and look about your lessons, get back to school, so you can be able to support yourself and your child. This is not the end of the world. You, for whatever reason, were exposed to things that you should not have been exposed to. But whatever happened, happened. You now must ensure that the rest of your life is lived in such a way that you don't make these kinds of mistakes again. For the veterans like myself who have been in this for some time, I've been a mother now for 30 years. My oldest daughter is 30 this year. So all of my kids are adults. My youngest is 19 this year. For us veterans, motherhood would have taken us through a lot of trials, a lot of highs, lows, in between. We grow as our children grow. and we go through our stages and our transformations and our lessons. Yeah, so if you are in my age group and you have your adult kids, they come with their own, they put you through stuff that, as the younger kids don't necessarily put you through. When you realize that your babies have come into being, have come into their own, and are now making their own decisions, and some of these decisions might go against how you brought them up, the values that you have. But you have to understand that these are now, they are entities of their own, they're here on their own journey, and you just have to step aside and rest assured that you have done your best, and they have to take their life from here. So I remember when I took my daughter to New York en route to Chicago, where she would start college at 18 years old. I remember in New York, there was this huge billboard. They were advertising, I think it was probably a Broadway musical or something. And the title was, "This is Where I Leave You." And I internalized it because here I was driving through New York, and we would eventually end up in Chicago where she would start her college journey. And I literally was taking her to that place and leaving her and saying, "Okay, you're an adult now. This is where I leave you." So I mean, you're always going to be mom, but at some point you have to step back and allow them to be the adult in their own lives, to make their own decisions. And you may not agree with the decisions, but it's theirs to make. For those mothers who have lost children, whether through illness or through some kind of tragedy, I my heart goes out to you. This is never a pain that anyone should bear. Our children should bury us, not the other way around. And I know several women who have lost babies, lost teens, lost adult children, and I can just imagine that pain, just watching it and listening to it. I can only imagine. So if you're a mother who have lost your children, I know today might be especially painful for you. Whenever Mother's Day comes around, you cannot help but remember your kids. I know for my mom, whenever Mother's Day comes around, whenever my brother's birthday comes around, or the day of his death, she really goes through it. So I know today is bittersweet for her because she lost a son many years ago, and the pain, I'm sure, is still raw. And when these special days come around, it's especially painful. For those mothers whose children are estranged, you haven't heard from them for a while, you haven't seen them, they're maybe in a different country, in a different part of the island, and they, for whatever reason, you are estranged, you don't see eye to eye on things, or maybe they're just working far away, or have their own families far away, and you're not able to see or talk to them as often as you would like. um, this is still your special day. If it is possible for you to get in touch with them, do so. You can reach out. Don't feel that, okay, I'm the mom, they need to call, it's my special day. No, you can reach out. Sometimes we have to bridge that gap that separates us. We have to be the ones sometimes. And as moms, we worry so much about our children. And sometimes they genuinely don't understand the worry, because they know they're okay. I remember I went through that. I know I'm okay. And I used to say, well, I don't need to call my mom every day. I don't. But now that I am a mom, I understand that worry, that concern that parents have. And I realize that I took it for granted. So it could be that your child just really honestly doesn't feel like they need to call because they're living their own life. They know they're okay. They don't realize that you don't know they're okay. So sometimes you can make the call, you can reach out and just say hi and put yourself at ease to know that they are okay. If you want to be a mother, have always wanted to be a mother, but have not been able to for whatever reason, but there's still that yearning and that desire, I salute you too, because there are many women, especially nowadays, who have decided not to embrace that aspect of the feminine, and they are within their right to do so. But if it's someone who wants to do so and cannot, then that pain is also there. And when Mother's Day comes around, that those women also go through their own private, personal pain, that yearning to be that nurturer, be that bearer of life. So I salute all mothers in every aspect. I salute myself. I salute my mom. I salute all women in my life who have gone through the process of channeling life into this realm. I salute you and I hope that you have a wonderful day.